Hello, this is Kyle Green, and today I'll be talking about a pretty important concept, which is first impression. Lots of guys better get friend zoned, and they can't figure out why. They keep trying to take things to the sexual level. They keep trying. They keep doing whatever it takes, but it just doesn't seem to get there, and they keep wondering why. But today I'm going to talk about this concept, which is really important, but better not only in seduction, but equally in life. The first impression really matters and it counts a lot. You see, in psychology, first impression is defined as the event which occurs when one person encounters with another person and forms a mental image of that person. The key to note right there is forming a mental image of that person. You see, if you meet, and this is something which happens almost subconsciously when we meet with others, we keep forming this mental image about them. Maybe we say this is a cool guy, this is an awesome guy. We keep doing that almost automatically. Now, if you form an image about someone, it will be hard for you to erase that image. It's very important thing in an interaction. First impression will influence your overall opinion about, will influence other people's opinion about you, and it's the last impression. We have to admit. Now, here's one thing I came to realize. Basically, there's a tendency of things to stay in equilibrium. There's a tendency of people to want. That's why it's hard to wipe away people's belief systems. It's hard to wipe away doctrines people have. It's hard to take away certain dogmas they have in their mind, because there's a tendency for people to just hold on to their belief systems, their dogmas. So an impression is a kind of a belief system you have installed into someone's mind. Now, you may try to change, you may become a better person, but it will be hard for them to take away that image. And practically, this is something I've seen all in my life. There are people I've been with for like many years, a couple of years, but because my first impression wasn't okay with them, I've never gotten so close to them. And again, there are people I meet like in a day and we are so close, we interact. I try to think about it, and I realize one of the reasons is their first impression, the impression they left on me in the very first place. By the way, it matters, because if it's good, there will be a tendency for you to keep it going, and if it's bad, there will be a tendency for you to ignore it. Like, you won't take that person as maybe what, especially if they don't bond with you so well in your very first impression. This is something which breaks you or makes you. You have to make a good first impression. Like I said, we humans have a tendency of categorizing people we meet almost automatically. We have like specific folders we put people we meet in our lives. Like, there's especially women, but everyone. Like, there's a folder where you keep people who are friends, people who are lively, people who are fun, people who are trustworthy. You have all these folders, and it depends on the way they interact with you. And what's really unfortunate is most of this stuff is subconscious. And you would see that if you improve your body language, if you improve your body language, the way you move, the way you talk, and the way you express yourself, not just in logical terms, I'm talking about words, but your overall gestures, your tonality of the voice, your movement of the eyes, your movement of the hands when you are speaking, all those things make an impression, and it's something subconscious. Literally speaking, for every bit of conscious, one bit of conscious information, there is over 10,000 bits of subconscious information. Now, subconscious information, like if you look at if you are watching this video right now on your laptop, now that bit of information, there are over like 10,000 other, there are details. that are not brought to your conscious mind, but you use it. So whenever you meet with other people, there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of interaction that goes on, most of which is subconscious. But at the end of the day, we use it, and that subconscious information is what helps us to come up with what people call intuition. Intuition is not just a feeling out of the blue. It comes from that information from the subconscious mind, which wasn't logically transmitted to the conscious mind, but at the end of the day, you use it to make what? To make a decision about someone. So all these things will matter, and someone will form an impression about you right away. So it's unbetter. Here's the unfortunate bit of it. It's never a woman's conscious intention or decision to take you as a friend. You see, that depends on the way you interact with her, like the way you deal with them, the way you open them up, determines whether they will take you as a friend, or a lover, or a nobody, or a boring guy, or not even give you their time to talk with. So it's so important to make a good first impression. You want to leave a good impression that stands, and you want that impression. You want to give the world that impression that you really want them to judge you with. Because hey, people are always judging. The only thing you can do about it is make them judge you the way you want to be judged. I know it's hard to admit, but life will never give you another chance to make a first impression, or another impression in the case. People will instead judge you by the last impression left on them. For example, if you used to be that shabby guy, if you are this kind of guy who is always laughed at in class, people, a guy who is weird, who is not cool, and the entire class knows about that, they have that impression about you, trust me, it will be hard for you to ever that impression. However much you wake up and start changing, for as long as they have that impression about you, they will ensure that the more information you give them fits into their theory about you, into their picture, that first picture about it. They ensure that every information just fits into that picture. You don't wipe it away. You see, that's the reason why some guys find it real hard to take things to the sexual level with girls. It's because in their first meeting with a woman, they gave her a lot of friend signals, like being too nice, being so agreeable with her, being so gentle, being so cool for school, and not taking the conversation to romantic areas. They are playing it safe, they are showing they are so caring, they are so nice, all these traits which show that a person should be a friend. And because you give them all those tips, then they will categorize you as a friend. It's not a choice. They will just take you as you come. Now in the Zen art approach, I teach you all these techniques and how to make an indelible first impression. But as a way of demonstrating value, you should learn how to banter. Better have a video about bantering. I guess you watch it. You should learn how to banter. Bantering helps you to demonstrate value. And these are some of the things which they will judge you, and they will scale you and know that you are maybe an alpha male, you are a high class man, the way you interact. But bantering is a cool way because it's fun, it's teasing, and you're free with the person. You give them the fun and they will know that you are a high value person. So watch out that video of bantering. But I'll also be coming up with a video about how to make a real good first impression. Right in this video, I've been just emphasizing about the entire concept and why you don't want to play around with it. It's a very important concept in life. And guess what? It cuts through all areas of life. Whether it's your occupation, whether it's seducing, whether it's you are going for a business plan or what, people will judge you. It's surprising the way people will look at you and think you are not trustworthy. But chances are you are trustworthy. However, you are just giving off these signals that you are not trustworthy, that you are not confident. If you are not confident of what you are saying, if you are not, most importantly, saying it confidently, you are not exhibiting confidence, then people won't trust you. I know it's unfair, but that's the way life is. We keep judging. You might be quite used to the other saying of like, never judge a book by its cover, but trust me, we do judge books by their covers. I don't know why. First, because we first see the cover before we say anything else. But we do judge books by their covers. Not once, not twice. Almost all the time, we are judging books by their covers. So take note of this concept, and it's something you don't want to play around with. It's really important. So watch out other videos about the Zen art